there. Welcome back to the Fanboy Cantina. In this episode, we are talking about Moon Knight episodes 2 and 3. And here we are. Hey there, Mr. C. How are you doing?
Overall, I'm doing great. I'm wrestling with this keyboard a little bit, trying to tell it I don't
Uh-huh.
want updates right now. So hopefully that will not be a thing. And I can't. Okay. Hey. All right. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all right. We're a little sorry, everybody. We're a little bit tardy. Had to get some things together here, but happy to be together this evening.
Little frantic. Art director of the channel had to exert his title and tell us, hey, showtime, boys. Get that 30-second countdown accountant. So thank you, art director Greg, and we're here. We are. We're good.
Awesome, awesome. So it's been a while since we last chatted. It's been 2 weeks actually, and so two episodes have transpired. Mr. C, how are you? How are you feeling about the series thus far?
Well, let me answer that in a quick second. Well, let me answer
Oh,
that
okay,
directly,
yeah.
and then I'll come and back pedal after I front pedal. I remain all in for this series and every episode of it. It's in the terms of John Schnepp. I could not be more sweaty for this series. Uh, that's the front pedal. As for the back pedal, again in paying reverence to many comic venues through the YouTube format. Over at the Cartoonist Kayfabe, what they would refer to that when one of them is in the studio and the other one is not. That we're on assignment. So you were on assignment last week, but here we are right now, back in the two studios doing business. What is your read on episode 2 and over 3 in the Let's Go in the overview?
Yeah. I think we've covered this before. We're not doing cosplay on this thing, but
First, this guy wants us to be on time. Now he's telling us
yeah, well, anyways,
Good golly, Miss Molly.
um, I I'm enjoying the series. I'm not loving the series, but you and I chatted in the group chat about my feelings about it. I had some concerns. Something felt a little bit off for me. We talked about it a little bit in the first episode, right, where you've got Oscar Isaac playing a character that is a known Jewish American Chicagoan superhero, no less, and it's got this Egyptian motif. Is that so? It's already kind of different and strange. But then you've got Oscar Isaac, who is Latino, not a Jewish American. MCU obviously changes the identities or makes updates to the content as appropriate. So that is that can be okay. But I I was unsure where this was going to go, but after we talked about it, I became a little bit more comfortable, and after doing a little bit more research about the attention that they did in having Egyptian, either Egyptian Americans or Egyptian culture, or Egyptians themselves contributing to the production of the film, I feel better about what this is about.
And it remains, hey, that's a great thing that you want to hold the line and be consistent. And representation is an important thing in
Yeah.
today's world. And, sure, let's cast backwards our gaze across time. Would have been great had representation been taken seriously as far back as the 20s, the 30s, or, generations before. Why stop at the 20s and 30s? So Marvel's going to do what Marvel does. And when we're over here doing our conversation, that we're happy to have other people participate or view our conversation, then yeah, we're going to do our bit to make sure we include what we value and what we consider important. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of fact check, a little bit of trial and error, a little bit of learn as you go, and here we go for tonight's episode.
Yeah. So how should we do this? Because there's so much to cover here, and there's this one. Any new QR code? See, I did not read anything about a new QR code offered during episode 3. There was one in episode 2, but I don't know if there was one in
There
episode
was definitely a QR code in episode 2. And I know we don't have Junkyard in the chat tonight. Boy, oh boy, let me tell you, I'm going to semi answer the question and semi dodge the question.
All right.
Uh, be great if we had Junkyard here, who was our QR code master in, the last time we did business, the last time we came on and reviewed
Yep.
episode 1. Uh, so I also want to recognize, here comes the dodge part, but
Okay.
I want to recognize Junkyard for pointing out that which we missed. Let me answer straight. I didn't even notice during episode 3. So again, the next time we sit down here, we're going to come back and point out, well, either there definitively was no QR code, or we'll give a timestamp or something for when the QR code had come up for episode 3. But I say that to say, I convolute all these points to say Junkyard was laying it out clearly in the comment section, and it was still going right over my head. Whereas I had erroneously thought, is there an Ozzy Osbourne statue covered in gold? And so it might be my greatest divergence, my greatest miss of all to date. So it was a street performer or one of those people that puts on a certain way about them, and then it's instead of playing a guitar or busking in the corner. So that character, per IMDb, has only 2 episodes. So if IMDb is being accurate and honest, he's done, he's gone, we won't see him again. But from the comics, that's Crawley. So the Jake Lockley persona of Moon Knight from the comics, who has not yet appeared in the Disney Plus series. Jake would be at Gina's diner, driving his cab around, trying to pick up some shady people as fares to get some information. But Crawley would forever have a spot in the diner, somewhat like Norm at Cheers. Very different persona than Norm at Cheers. So Crawley was always in the diner, and then Crawley would know this and that. He'd hear different things in his comings and goings. So that gold statue character is Crawley. And again, it jumping around here, it's my hope that Oscar Isaac and this whole production will make it to theatrical release, and maybe we'll get to see a little bit of Crawley on the big screen.
So what is the significant? So maybe a little bit more. So because I didn't follow any of this. So Crawley is a character in the comics and
supporting character.
Supporting character in the comics. Okay, there you go.
So right, so Superman's got your Lois and your Jimmy Olsen, your Lois Lane, your Jimmy Olsen. Iron Man has a Happy back in the day, and Pepper. So when you're Moon Knight and you've got 3 different personas, then each persona has their own supporting cast. So under the Jake Lockley cab driver persona, Crawley and Gina of Gina's Diner were supporting cast people.
Got it.
Now, if you want to buy into RMB, Robert Meyer Burnett is being very mysterious in his comments also, but he's towing the line that things might not be what they seem. And so I believe if I have the right read on what Robert Meyer Burnett is saying, Crawley might be, a setup there already. Like he's kind of keeping an eye over Steven. He's watching out for Steven to make sure, Steven's okay in this way or that way. So who knows if that'll pan out? We'll have to keep watching to see what's cooking.
We do have the comment about the digital comic. Yes, I knew this one. In the second episode, which is Summon the Suit, I think, the QR code redirects you to a Marvel webpage featuring the free 20-page digital comic book Werewolf by Night issue 33.
Which is the part 2 of the intro appearance of Moon Knight.
Got it. So with trying to figure out how to best do this, because there's 2 episodes, so we're halfway through. The second episode picks up from the aftermath of the chaos in the museum. There is also, I'm looking at my notes, we also get to see the storage locker, which allows Mark and Steven to speak with each other. There's also the introduction of Layla, which we learn is Mark's wife, although apparently not Steven's wife. There is also I can't read my notes. We also learn about the detectives, right? The detectives thing happens, and we see the cult-like following of of Arthur Harrow. There's the something that was not right, and so this was picked up in Twitter. The Mandarin speaking, or not the Mandarin character, but when Arthur Harrow is speaking in Mandarin to another person, I don't speak Chinese, but I knew that was like terrible. Yeah, it's just I don't know what language you all think is that is, but I know that is completely wrong. And then we see the Mr. Right, excuse me, Mr. Knight appearance, which was very cool. Who then shows up again in the third episode, and the conflict with himself, the tragic burden of Mark Spector and having to serve Khonshu, or else Layla will be the next Avatar.
And
Um,
that's a trap of all traps. That's a Rube Goldberg better mousetrap, complicated setup, and but seriously, then adding to the pathos or the suffering of
mhm.
Mark Spector. I mean, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You want to be free of your if you refer to it as service, his service of Khonshu, and doesn't look like that. It's a catch-22. It doesn't look like there's any easy way out of it. So interesting complications within the fabric of the plot.
Yeah, so I'm going to hop around again because usually we end this little bit about questions, but I'm very curious on what is Arthur Harrow's story and how did he get to not be the Avatar for Khonshu?
Yeah, clearly Khonshu doesn't take resignations readily.
Right.
So that would be a really, I don't know if necessarily a spin off, but I very much am looking forward to getting, as we're at the halfway mark now, episode 3 concluded, definitely in episodes 4, 5, 6, that has to be a direction that they would go in, was to break down a little bit more background of Arthur Harrow.
Yep. No, definitely. And then in the most recent episode, ever so quickly, so we've got, I felt like the best fighting that we've seen in quite a while in the Disney Plus series. Just you have the beginning fight happening on the rooftop, and then you have the fight at the end in the arena. Just spectacular elements.
And so just at the
Oh yeah.
end of episode 1, they made you, and I was making this comparison back in the day when we're watching Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. That was part of the tension, is when is Bixby going to transform to Ferrigno? When are you going to see the man become the Hulk? So in that same kind of a way, we get all the way to the closing scene of Exit 1 with the jackal, the chase into the bathroom. Then, Mark, again, talking to a mirrored surface. I think that's such an interesting way to play with the character exchange, or the dominant personality exchange. So then that jackal gets pounded. Then, in episode 2, we're already in a really good way with the rooftop. So
Mm.
the rooftop chasing, and then he pulls the spike move. Get lure the threat away from the innocent would-be victims. Then his somersaults are really tight. His speed is really, he's got to be right plotting it as he goes. Okay, but then maybe he knew the spike was there, the spire spike was there in
Mhm.
advance, or maybe just in mid leap. Oh, look at that! There's an opportunity. Plunk, places the jackal right there, turns to dust. Really good, really good. And then coming to episode 3, the fight choreography. So now we're on the rooftop again. Now he's running again. Little bit reminiscent of, I know Aquaman's not your top picture, but just the fact that there's a rooftop chase
Mhm.
in a long shot cut of it. Anyway, so now we're seeing something like that again, rooftop chase, and then he comes to these two guys, and the fight choreography. The one guy does like the feint, and then the other guy comes from behind with the attack, and then but their night fighting. Just the choreography and the camera work when he swipes the blade across the ground as a cross this line, or come into my circle and I'm gonna cut you. Wow, really, really good. And then, so as if the fight choreography isn't good enough, then you have the mirrored image on the blade as a means for the Mark Spector persona and not the Jake Lockley and the Stephen Grant persona to communicate. Really good stuff.
Fantastic stuff. I feel like, sadly, we don't see Egypt much in cinema to begin with. So I'm picking up some beats in this episode, in episode 3, from Raiders of the Lost Ark, or the Mummy. Right, with the Mummy, you've got that whole adventure aspects, or trying to figure out the how to break the code, kind of thing. But then here with the knife fight, where the guy is licking the knife and it just pops him right in the face. That is like Indiana Jones shooting the swordsman, doing the swords action
in the best of ways.
in the
Absolutely.
best of ways. Yeah. Um, so we start to see the conflict, more of the conflict between Stephen and Mark, and we see that Layla gets her fake passport and then arrives in Egypt. We see the conflict amongst the gods, because it was a good question, right? I was wondering if you have the Egyptian um, gods here, how could it just be that Khonshu is running around and then Ahmed is, where are the rest of the gods? So seeing that forum of all of the avatars together was, I felt like a good payoff. Just sort of wondering what. Tell me more about this universe.
The meeting hall, or the chamber in which they're having their, which they all arrive, or in which the avatars all arrive, and then the gods speak through the avatars. That was really, really good. And then I was thinking, well, so the actor doing Khonshu's voice for the most of the time is F. Murray Abraham, but then you're hearing Khonshu speak through face acted and voice acted by Oscar Isaac. So there's already something different. And then again, there's something really to be said about the way Ian McGregor did his homework to hit the speech patterns and the pacing and the inflection and everything of the original Obi-Wan Kenobi. Wait, not Ben Kingsley. Alec Guinness.
Alec Guinness, yeah.
I shouldn't even need a pause on that, but I did. But anyway,
all right.
But now, so that was kind of a top example of that. So Oscar Isaac actually wasn't exactly mirroring or wasn't nailing the F. Murray Abraham delivery, but I don't know that he needed to, because the avatar is speaking, is the one who's present to represent the god. So now you got all these mysterious backstories between the gods, and was it the one-to-one relations, or the past romances of the gods, and who is the Zeus of this cluster, who is the Odin of this group, and tying it back to the Asgard stuff, at different points in the comics and at different points in Thor 1 and Thor 2 and Thor 3,
Mm-hmm.
or the other appearances of Thor throughout the Marvel universe. They're gods. Well, they're not really gods. They're aliens. It's not really magic. It's technology. But so now, where will these Egyptian gods, are they just a kind of a different flavor to the Asgardian gods, and they are aliens, or are they gods, or it raises so many interesting questions.
I feel like the Egyptian gods as aliens has also been covered in the Stargate franchise. But it's kind of an interesting dimension to the Marvel universe, where they incorporated these actual deities in different cultures, and there is a sensitivity to doing this in a way that's not grotesquely offensive. I am not I'm not a follower of the Norse religions nor the Egyptian faiths, but or the ancient Egyptian faiths, but I hope that they're being handled in a culturally appropriate way. And it makes you interested in learning more about each of these cultures, for sure. We should get to the chats here, because
all right.
no, we're not doing that. Can Casual Crafter make a custom Funko Pops of you? No, I don't know. But
there he is. I was going to say, Crafter might be on Family Business. Giving it tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Crafter, thanks for jumping in again.
Yeah. Okay, that's just
the word balloon would be exclusive. No edition.
That's right. That's the Chase variant.
Boy.
Also, no, that's the same one again. Wait. Here it is. Oh, just
Mandarin!
all right. About to drive home from a dinner.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Mandarin, thank you for stopping by. Please be safe.
Yeah.
And
I remember Mandarin's words well from when last we met, and his wife's name may or may not be Marlene. So, Mandarin, I hope you and Marlene or not Marlene had a real nice dinner. Hey, you can always catch us on the replay, sir. We're happy to have you around.
and yes, I appreciate it. Yes, I know this is an eyesore. This happens to me all the time. All right.
Wow, the volume just shot way up when you brought the actual mic piece closer to.
I'm not going to do it. All skate,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, all skate. All right, so let's not do that. Other notes about episode 3. So so the petition from Khonshu does not go through, and instead exposes the issues, the severe mental issues that Mark Spector or Stephen have to that whole forum. There's a level of embarrassment, and then that leads them. That leads our heroes, Layla and Mark, on this journey to find the tomb. And so I was trying to pull up this part to get to the name of the actor here. I'm almost there. Talk amongst yourselves
all right.
while I.
Well, while you're in search of
Yeah,
in a Nimoy like
I got it.
in search of kind of a way, uh, I'll just throw out there just a specific comment that I wanted to touch on our earlier subject matter that we're speaking on.
Hmm.
He said, I'll do the work and then let me go, is what Spectre says to Khonshu. But then he's so betwixt and between, but he doesn't want Layla to be articulated or actuated or made use of as the fist of Khonshu. So I just wanted to get that specific comment in there, and then the point about my healing armor. Uh,
Hmm.
so that as Khonshu is now locked up as in his little stone statue, that's going to be really interesting to see how do we operate without the healing armor, and my healing armor that's got to be referential to what predated episode 1 or episode 0, if you will. What was the first contact between Khonshu and Mark Spector, and how much will it follow the comic plot line, or how much will it not? And I'll say this, here we go. So Mark Spector
Mm-hmm.
does better prep than does Khonshu, because when Mark Spector goes to a knife fight, he's ready to do business in the knife fight, whether
Mm-hmm.
he's summoned the suit or whether he's plain clothes. But when Khonshu gets into that meeting chamber with all the other gods, he was not prepped for the tables to be turned against Mark Spector, and all Harrow had to do was just clearly you cannot believe what this man is saying because he is not well. And so the tables completely turned, the 180, the 360, the 720. The tables were spinning because then Khonshu, even though he's using, so it was easily defeated in that trial or courtroom or chamber room. And so Khonshu's got to step it up. He's got a healing armor or not, provider of the healing armor or not. Khonshu has to step it up and get his game together.
Yes. And so rather than go the tangent that I was about to go down, I'll keep on this one. Um, a thing that kind of took me out of that scene is all of the other avatars are speaking normally. There is nothing, it's not like that. It didn't make quite as much sense for me. Why are all the other avatars able to speak in a normal, functioning way, and then Khonshu is manifesting himself through Mark or Steven in this, just kind of bizarre.
I got it. I'm just spontaneously, I have an
Yeah.
answer for that. I
Oh,
think
okay.
because the other Egyptian gods, they have more chill. They have achieved a higher
All
sense
right.
of chill than Khonshu, but Khonshu's all the time, yes, always dialed up to 11. So no kidding, it's going to come out as a pressurized speech and is a certain dramatic flair to it. So that's my on the spot read. I hadn't considered that before, but definitely, yeah. Everybody else is talking with their inside voice, but here comes Outcast Khonshu, dialed up to 11, and that's what we saw.
All right, so Mandarin, I'm okay. That's cool, and yeah, okay, man. Fine. And then okay, every time fanboy, yeah. Oh my, yes, that's exactly what I'm invoking there. All right, so the tangent that I was about to go down is uh, with the after the incident with the gods, that then takes them to Mogart, this adventure to meet up with Mogart. And it was nice that there was the tribute at the very tail end, so I'm guessing we may not see Mogart again. He does also get hit by one of Moon Knight's weapons, but Gaspard Ulliel it plays Anton Mogart, uh,
The Midnight Man.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I'm at the disadvantage because the newly what we showed last time, the new epic book, it's upstairs right now, so I can't. And we're doing a no fan cam tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll come back with some reference material
All right.
on the Midnight Man next time around.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh my. Okay, great. All right. So with Mogart, we have the really spectacular fight scene in that section, and that also connects them to the fragments in that sarcophagus, or in that coffin. And then there's the excuse me, the escape that happens, and that allows Stephen to come out and solve the riddle of the fragments that then figures out the constellation.
So Stephen knows things that Mark does not know, but they're the same physical body, but they're different utilizations within the brain or the knowledge base. And so that's really interesting to me.
Well, and it seems like Layla is connecting that much better with Stephen than with Mark.
Okay, so Mark comes prepared for a knife fight, but Mark does not come prepared for Stephen to make a connection with Layla. They're speaking French together. All of a sudden, Stephen's favorite French author, whoever it was on episode 2, matches up with Layla's, and there was a real on the pontoon boat. And again, I'm used to the 70s, which is probably similar to 60s or 50s kind of style of pontoon boat. It had some like indoor outdoor grass on it, but they're on a well lit pontoon boat. It's no doubt setting a certain kind of a tone. They're Mark and Layla having a really tender moment together. He doesn't want her to get caught up as Khonshu's next servant, but she doesn't know that, so he's kind of trying to protect her, but it comes across as really emotionally avoidant and standoffish. So there's all that going on, but there's some tender moments between Layla and Mark, and some definite tender moments between Layla and Stephen. So that's again what's next. Stay tuned.
Yeah, where could the story possibly go? Where could it go with these two? And so with the fragments together, that allows Khonshu to move the night sky back in time. Spectacular visual effect there. Uh, and then I assume so. I felt like there was a bit of story missing. Is that what then triggers Khonshu to be put into stone, to be turned into a statue?
Well, like in soccer terms, he already got his yellow card.
Okay.
In HR terms, he already got his verbal warning, and so here comes his written warning. But he kind of knew that. He said whichever way he said the quote exactly, I was like, well, Mark, I hope Mark's going to break me out of this afterwards. So now, where I was just calling out Khonshu for not doing his prep, he had his prep now. If we're going to achieve what we're trying to achieve, then I got to take the hit. I got to pay the price. I got to foul out of the game. And so now I'm trapped in a little stone statue. So he knew what was coming, yet he still took the hit. So this time I give Khonshu credit for going all in, and he's since he's all the way dialed up to 11 all the time, he maintained that as he made a sacrifice.
Recognizing that this is all a fantasy, right? It's not all a,
What?
it's a TV show. It's all a TV show. Uh, I don't quite get Arthur Harrow just sort of perpetually showing up everywhere and anywhere. Does he have like a really good Uber driver? I don't understand how he just sort of shows up, or how did he get even into that the the arena with the gods. How did that happen? Or just show up at what was the dude's name? Magort's or the yeah Mogart.
Mogart.
Got the vowels mixed up.
Mogart. I've heard it
I was
both ways.
thinking, I was thinking like Malort, Mogart. I've not had Malort, but he just sort of shows up at Mogart's place, and then with the cosmos moving quickly, shouldn't that have destroyed the Earth or something like that? But it doesn't matter. It's all just a TV show. I can live with it. Uh, so that was a kind of a choppy recap. But I'm what I really liked with the third episode. You don't get a good sense of what Moon Knight. Actually, they hold it back, right? You don't get to see what Moon Knight is capable of, really, in episode one until you see the beatdown that happens in the very end scene. And then here, you learn a lot. He can get impaled and still be alive. Even center of mass, he's still alive. The whole bullet action and throwing the bullets back at the bad guys, that was spectacular. The level of brutality that you see in episode three, people are getting killed. It's not like it's not Captain America bonking people in the head with a shield. People are dying in this one.
Right. And it's a good, again, the phrase, the healing armor. I'm very glad for that exposition piece, because like they had their little jousting poles or whatever they were riding around.
Mhm.
It's not just one pole run through the body of Stephen Mark Moon Knight. So that's a key thing to know. Oh, well, the armor has healing properties to it. Uh, Ouch.
Yeah, definitely.
Then he just gets back up, and so right on one hand, there's a lot of fantasy. On one hand, their trauma things are being dealt with, physical or psychological trauma things are being dealt with in a kind of a serious presentation within a pop culture context. But right here, we just got a guy whose stick has been run through him, and 3 seconds later, he's back in the battle. So again, top fight choreography and establishing Moon Knight as a serious combatant.
I love all of the little moments that happen in the fight scenes, like when in episode two where he's jumping across and you got the moon in the background, or in episode three where he jumps down from the top of that structure or whatever it was, and then the cape forms a very nice crescent shape. It's beautiful, beautiful moments. It feels like in those moments that it's a comic book being brought to life. Here.
What makes a good character, right? You got to have a little bit of interesting story going on, and the visual representation. And it just there it is. There's the crescent moon. Right? The crescent moon itself, for throughout the entire history of human beings, people have stopped to take note. Oh, look, it's a full moon, it's a crescent moon, it's a half moon, what have you. So now taking that symbolism, that imagery, and here we go. We're going to put it on Moon Knight's cape. You can compare to Batman all you want, or not comparing to Batman at all.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing, it's just such a great visual.
Absolutely.
And they've rendered it now on the TV screen, from the page to the TV screen. They got me.
There's a whole other conversation happening in the chat, so let's catch up. Okay, yeah, all right, fine. Yeah, Turning Red is I thought a pretty good movie. It goes straight out, all out kaiju at the end of it.
What was?
Okay, all right. Distracted. Oh, okay. Been listening in the car. would definitely, the Mandarin says, will definitely buy me some Funko Pops of Fanboy G and Mr. C. Love that idea, Chai Star G, Casual Crafter. I hope can make that happen.
Well, look,
And
to my knowledge, Crafter deals primarily in the Mego verse, and I don't want to ask Crafter to step outside his
oh no,
comfort.
but if you find it, I'll paint it. I don't think we need this to happen though. You, all right? You make that happen. Okay. Yep. Maybe don't type and jive. Yeah. Anyways, then okay. No, we're going. See, it's a whole other conversation
No,
after.
no, I'm going to go to no.
Oh, okay.
So, Mandarin, while you got, I don't know if you got it on the car speakers or what. So
Yeah.
anyway, just Mandarin, if you're good, I'm just saying, Mandarin, Fanboy Cantina at gmail.com. It's just Jim Campbell might not be with us in the conversation tonight, but Jim Campbell was just the recipient in Berwyn actually of his Fanboy Cantina T-shirt, and I can't speak for Campbell, but next time Campbell comes back around, he can speak for himself. That is a fine Fanboy Cantina T-shirt. Casual Crafter was just recently the recipient of the Fanboy Cantina T-shirt. So, Mandarin, come and get your T-shirt. But if you're not game for it, that's cool. I'm just saying, others who have received said shirt, Mandarin's always talking about the Fanboy style. So I just wanted to throw that out there too. We can resume our regular programming.
Yeah. How many times have I worn the fanboy shirt on this thing?
I don't know. I'm gonna
I
keep
think
track.
I think it's twice, but it's just nice that other human beings will take the time out and you can wear it at bedtime or while you're doing yard work or whatever whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. I'm gonna yeah.
Second edition. No. Like shoulder to shoulder across the back. No.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. It'll be an arm sleeve. It'll only be one arm actually, where it just goes no.
Oh yeah. The,
Yeah.
the full length,
Full length.
off the cuff.
That's right. That's right. Um, Another thing that was a little bit funky for me. I don't understand. So they're out in Cairo, I assume. They're out in Cairo, and there are these artifacts that are in these pyramids outside that do not have any kind of protective coating or anything, no reflective properties. Kind of a bad thing for an Egyptian relic, maybe. Uh, Again, I'm thinking too much.
Well, I didn't catch it. One.
All
Two,
right.
I have no real reason to argue against you. But three, just if I were to throw something out, I would say, maybe then when the little doors close, it's got a vacuum seal lock on the stuff. I don't know. Or that just that's the price to pay for driving the plot.
Mhm. Well, yeah. Otherwise, then we would have tacked on another 30 minutes of trying to get into wherever this place is and
Chase across the desert.
yeah, in the chase across the desert. Yes. And now Mr. C. Okay, I don't know. All right, fine. Okay, so other imagery that we may have readily at hand. Oh yeah, there's the impaled Moon Knight. Um, you know, an element that I am truly loving, Mr. C, is the music. Uh, the
Let's go.
music, it's just fantastic. Uh, they in episode one, you've got the Engelbert Humperdinck music. We talked about that, but then now that they are in Egypt, they have included this fantastic hip hop and dance Egyptian music, and that includes we have a graphic. It's one of these. Let's see what I'm going to click on. Okay, it's Ahmed Saad. That is what you hear at the end of that is the artist that you hear at the end of episode 2, and then DJ Kabu you hear at the end of episode 3. I am loving all of the music. I don't know about you, Mr. C.
I'm on board with it, and I was a little bit reminiscent to was it 98 or 99 when Dragon Ash,
Oh
uh,
yes.
come a little Japanese produced from Japan with some rap. And that was you and the other guy put me. That was the first time I had knowledge of rap music being produced from Japan. So in that similar, so on one hand, yes, we want to keep our eyes open for the importance of representation. And now on the other hand, look at this cultural fusion between that which started with tune turn tables and a microphone and back around the Bronx and the Manhattan and the Brooklyn and the house music in the Chicago area and all these things. So now look at this fusion and what an excellent sound that is. Now, if I can also, go ahead.
No, no, no. I'm loving this. I absolutely love. One of the things that I used to really enjoy traveling internationally before the days of streaming music is going to the local record store and just seeing what was in the top 10 or top 100 on the wall or top whatever on the wall and just picking up random stuff. Uh, and now with the loss of physical media, I don't know if that's even possible anymore. So this kind of stuff where you can pick up on new music, uh, give me that any day.
And also back in the day, when it was there, and we'd be at Tower Records, and they'd be playing all different kinds of music.
Right.
But then, look, here's some international newspapers. Here's a whole top to bottom shelf. You want an Irish newspaper, you want a German newspaper. It's all this fusion stuff that having access to. That's right. The then and now, an important jam to be jamming too. Uh, Let me jump to within episode 2. It wasn't all the way up to 11. It was played so softly, so low key. There's Stephen Grant coming into the the storage facility, and so quietly did they have in the background little Bauhaus, little Bella Lugosi's dead. Wait a minute. The first time I didn't catch it, but on second viewing of episode 2,
Mm-hmm.
they did not just put Bauhaus and Bella Lugosi. But so now as a mixtape, as a soundtrack to the series, here's some Bauhaus, here's some Wham, here's some Engelbert Humperdinck, here's some Egyptian produced stuff. I'm on board.
I'm on board, yeah, and I'll admit to listening to Engelbert Humperdinck in my car yesterday, no less, and I also had Alexa play the Tony Orlando song "Knock Three Times," knock three times, da, 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 da,
on the ceiling, if you want me.
yeah, okay, yeah. So, all right. So, Yanni. Okay, no, crazy. My nickname is Dragon Ash.
But your screen name is
Oh
Mandarin.
my,
But
yeah.
your nickname is Dragon Ash. All right, Mandarin. You're hey, good. Glad as we get to know each other over the greater period of time, Mandarin. It's important that we should learn these things.
So the things that I love most, that I'm enjoying most about this series thus far, include the music. Uh, I like the characters for the most part. I think the visual effects are outstanding, and the fight choreography is really really something else. Uh,
Let's take a second,
oh yeah.
though. Moon Knight, aka Mark, aka Steven, has had more screen time of fight choreography. Let's recognize back to Indy, whether it was through a competition of how many shots to drink, which at this age now, that. But anyway, but Marion Ravenwood, the character of Indiana Jones, she could take care of business in a physical way. And now here's Layla with a lot of descendancy or a lot of character overlap with Marion. Layla can hold her own in the fight too. She was throwing that goon down the porch, down from through the porch railing, the stay safety, and down to the next level down. So literally a throwdown. So she can hold her own too.
Yeah, she impaled dude with what two things into his chest.
Oh, see, I'm even forgetting her best move. I'm just on her warm up stuff. But here, I'm going to take my evening
Freaking
wear
killed the guy. Yes,
and run you through.
come on. Yeah,
I don't want
she's
to
astounding.
misappropriate the Quicksilver quote, but you didn't see that coming.
No, no, definitely not. Uh, and casual card. Yes, thank you. Twice on the pipes. Yeah, I like how you get
Back
this.
to Tornado. Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you get the sound effects later on in the song. Like in the beginning, you don't hear the. Anyways, yeah, and
The
then
laundry room's only a few feet away, but I won't jump up and demo.
yeah, don't knock on the ceiling. And then yes, okay, yeah, we're not, yeah, we have the growing list of stuff that we don't do on the show. No cosplay, no fanboy
No eating
routine.
Lucky
Yeah,
Charms.
yeah, no eating cereal live stream. Maybe we could talk about it. All right. So we've got some pictures that you had sent. Should we go to the pictures
Let's
or?
throw some pictures. We didn't really sequence them. So if I'm going to call out Mark Spector or if I'm going to call out Khonshu on the prep, then I'm going to call myself out on the prep. But, there was, okay. So but here's a good place to start. So I went, let's see, can we find a representation of Khonshu? And I guess outside of the Marvel realm, it's Khonshu without the H. But the closest I could find was this auricular statue of Horus, which was still a falcon creature. And just there's a little, description purchased in Cairo back in 1919. And then do we have there he is. So that's so I'll work a little backwards here.
Uh-huh.
So at the museum, I'll work backwards on that. This is as close as I could find to a falcon creature or a Khonshu looking representation was the complete other Egyptian deity of Horus as represented or symbolized with the falcon.
All right. I am now clicking on random stuff here. So we
All right.
was I supposed to have clicked on this one?
Well, again, it's on me for not having sequenced photos, but here we got a King Tut statue and we got a whole Egyptian hallway here. So I guess now let me say, so within the Windy City, there is the University of Chicago, where Junkyard, Junkyard is not the only one who's had dealings with the University of Chicago. And in addition to our crew here, I didn't mean to discover this, but I did discover this. So the Moon Knight co-creator and author, Doug Mensch. So I got some help on how to pronounce his name. So it's Doug Mensch grew up in Chicago and has at some point in his life, maybe a bunch of times, visited the Oriental Institute Museum. So again, as we're noting the different terminology of different times, so the Orient within the museum's title is referring to Persia, Egypt, and that territory, not referring to other areas.
Things that may be triggering. Yes.
Yeah, we don't need to overcomplicate the. So we can conclude or we can speculate that the creator of Moon Knight, besides having whatever other museum access, was at this very museum, the Oriental Institute Museum, on the campus of the University of Chicago. In said museum, it's a smaller museum, but they have some Egyptian artifacts, some Anatolian, which is now the area of Turkey, artifacts, and some of the different peoples who were through the area known as Persia, which is currently known as Iran and as Iraq. So I thought, all right, let me try to get some academic street cred, if you will. Let me have some Egyptian cultural sensitivity. So there I am just the other day at the Oriental Institute Museum, and here's some mummy imagery, some different conditions, different paint jobs. Even good old Crafter would be challenged to restore this thing to its the glory of its youth. But that's so this one was really interesting to me because it was like an exploded view. So they had the top of the coffin, then the mummies kind of floated there on that glass plate beneath him. And then I don't really know this, well, maybe sometimes it's done this way, sometimes a different way, but there's like an ink painting on the bottom of the sarcophagus there, not pictured. They ran this very mummy through the CT scan, and then they were able to see like all the academic stuff of, as was the custom at the time, the brains of the deceased person would be removed through their nasal cavity, so that CT scan showed that there, the skull without the brain in it. So if we're looking at actual the practices of the Egyptian people at the time, this is really fascinating stuff. Whether you're just looking at the artifact itself, but then the CT scan puts a whole other, it goes to 11 level to it. So now we're just in that same area of the museum. We can go ahead and click ahead when you're
I think that's all I got uploaded in here.
Right.
I think I just have the 7 or 8.
Okay, I thought I put the entrance.
Yes, I can send that to myself. I can send that to myself.
We'll get it for next time. No,
talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves for a little bit.
So as trying to give frame of reference, the Oriental Institute Museum is somewhere that I've gone a bunch of times with the family over the years. The really noteworthy to me, so not just for filler, but like what do I genuinely blows my mind about this museum, as they were importing from Persia, from the Assyrian people, a Lamassu, so it's a winged bull statue. The statue itself weighs 40 tons. But how do you get a 40-ton statue in a museum? I'm not just going like in a Riddler Batman kind of a way. So as the museum was being built, they knew they were going to ship the piece over. And so they built, the 3 walls and the roof and everything, but they left the one wall incomplete, like because to fit in this 40-ton statue, he's not coming in the front door. So again, just the artifact itself, the history of transporting the artifact from Persia to Chicago, the whole thing. And then, as we referenced Indiana Jones, one of the major influences of the Indiana Jones character was the actual University of Chicago archaeologist. There you go. There's the front door. Now, see, you can't fit no 40-ton statue through that. That's just a regular human-sized, people-sized front door. So Henry Breasted was the actual archaeologist inspiring Indiana Jones. There we go, a little bit more of a close-up. Also inspiring on the DC side of things, a partial inspiration for Carter Hall, the archaeologist discovering the Hawkman artifacts in the DC fictional universe. Hawkman will be making it to the screen in the Black Adam movie, so then we'll get another chance to see what the Distinguished Competition does and how they represent Egyptology.
Yeah, no, Mr. C assignment then. Yeah, Mr. C, you should have been my history teacher, digging the history lesson. Yeah, no, this is great.
Thanks,
Andrew. Well, what else should we? So we covered some of the questions here. I'm curious how Khonshu is going to get himself out of being a statue. I'm also curious, what's the status of Mark or Steven? Which person is there right now, or is it both? But without Moon Knight. Very curious how episode 4 picks up, because we only have three episodes left.
We're at the midway marker. This is the part of the show where you try to get me to do the predictions, and then I hesitate because I don't want to look like a knucklehead for having made the wrong prediction. But I will say it's been heavily implied that, I didn't beat these guys up. No, I didn't beat these guys up either. How do these guys all get beat up? It's been heavily implied that a third personality, be it Jake Lockley or something else, is going to have a big reveal. And again, the museum security guard would refer to Steven as Scotty. So again, Scotty could be a Quicksilver, Mephisto kind of a fake out, or maybe instead of Jake, he's going to be known as Scotty, to be determined. Could be some red herring business. Could be the breadcrumbs leading right up to Scotty will be the third guy. But that's the most solid ground I have to stand on as I make a general prediction. You know, as for other predictions, I mean,
I don't know where this thing goes. I don't know where this thing goes. Yes, it's inevitable that there's another personality or another identity out there, at least one. Uh, feel like it's likely that we're going to see whoever that is in the next episode very soon. I assume we're going to see the standard heroes arc of Arthur Harrow receiving his comeuppance or whatever, but that seems so down the middle obvious. So maybe there's going to be a twisty twist of some kind. But I don't know. I don't know anything about this character, so that makes it better for me.
As I said last time we did business, I hope we're going to see the setup for a cinema full on at the theater release for a full Moon Knight picture. You know, I want to see Layla get some good screen time in there, both as a thinker, as a confounder, as a person in a fight scene. And let me say also, then to tie this detail a bit. So we saw the passport from Mark Spector, and then in episode 3, we see Layla at the passport factory. So maybe Mark Spector's passport is completely not a factual. Maybe it's a forged passport. So again, the good intrigue. Wednesday can't come soon enough. So we'll be back around again.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Both with the no. Yeah. In my head, I was thinking about Euro Trip with Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't. Yeah, we're not saying.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, I also would not be surprised if by some chance there's that Layla ends up in the suit. I mean that's kind of the fear. So that would be kind of mind blowing to see.
In a world where, again, we're looking to have all kinds of representation, I had not even considered that until you said it. But look how well she's fighting without a suit, and again, I mean, in the most recent Universal attempt, the picture that I have not seen, that I probably won't see, right? The female, the mummy was a female character. It wasn't a Karloff, it wasn't a Lon Chaney, it wasn't the other guy, but that could be good to see this mummy stylistic Moon Knight costume depicted for Layla. Sure, that could be really good.
That could be, yeah. The fear that is holding back Mark Spector instead becoming reality and being something about. Anyways, we will all find out in 3 weeks where this road heads. Any last thoughts, Mr. C, before we wrap up?
Perfect question, my friend. And then I'll kick that same question back to you in just a second. But yeah, just on the wish list stuff. So again, in the number of the voicemails coming in. So Deschamps, the character known as Frenchie, was number 32. I would like to see, whether it's within the next 3 episodes or whether it's in something later on, I would like to see Frenchie manifest himself onto the screen. And just because again, I should have had the handbook of Marvel Universe issue ready. The Moon Knight helicopter, as does Moon Knight, the character, have such a great visual. The Moon Knight copter, the bad copter is kind of cool, but to me, I would give if I have to pick between one or the other, I'm going Moon Knight copter for the visual design. So I really hope we get to see some kind of flying machine, be it a straight up traditional helicopter or something. In the gears and gadgetry, in the vehicles are cool. And the James Bond has a lot of good vehicles. In the Batmobile is a cool vehicle. I could really go for seeing Deschamps flying the helicopter as part of what they have going on.
That would be cool. You give me flashbacks of my Corgi comic book characters where I had the Spider-Man copter where it
Mhm.
had like spider legs and this web thing spinning around on top. Uh, yes. I don't have anything else to add on my end.
Oh, I'm just checking the time in the corner
Oh
here, and
yeah.
it's
Oh my.
interesting that previous episode we had one episode and we ran longer than we're running now. So I'll call that we got a good efficiency to our conversation tonight. We had a economy of words in a certain regard, and here we'll be able to close out two episodes in less time than we closed out one. Uh, again, stay tuned again. We're going to get back with Casual Crafter and figure out some kind of schedule business and have some conversation with Crafter around, and we'll sort out all those details. And that's about all I got.
Oh yeah, that crossover event. Yes, we need to talk. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. The vehicle looks fantastic, so cannot wait for more folks to see that um, on
What
the
you,
live stream.
your spider vehicle? Or, oh, that vehicle.
No,
Oh,
the vehicle that
yeah.
arrived at your doorstep, and
Ooh,
the best drive home ever. Listening to my homies pulling in my driveway now. And when's the casual? Yes, no, thank you, Casual Crafter. It's fabulous. So very much looking forward to this crossover event for us all. And when same bad times, same bad channel, or
same bad time, same bad channel. We got to talk to Crafter and see what feels good on Crafter's neck of the woods. But we'll be in the offline emails, and then we'll come back and be dropping announcements. And again, we'll looking to do little different touches, little different flourishes, little different ways about the channel. So yeah, we're excited about we're going to turn it up to 11. We're going to manifest some stuff and check your YouTube feed for when we'll be back. Mandarin, we hope we're good radio style companion as you got back to the driveway. Hope you'll be back again next time.
awesome, awesome. And so it is a time of multiple holidays. So happy Passover, happy Ramadan, and also happy Easter. And if you're of none of the Abrahamic religions, happy Saturday night, and stay safe and healthy. So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like down below and hit the subscribe button as well because we love to stay connected. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. C. And we will see you next time. Take care. Good night, everybody. Bye.